Rakshith. My name is Rehat. I'll be taking your webinar today. So, just to give our audience a brief introduction of, Mr. Rakshith Shetty. He graduated from the MA batch of 2024 recently last year, and now he's currently working at the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Rakshith, is there anything else would you like to add on to your introduction?
Okay. So thanks a lot, Rahat, for having me here. It's an absolute pleasure to actually come back to the university that I admired a lot. And I'll tell you, and I'll get back like why what I really loved about JSI. But about me, right after JSI, I joined Takshashila Institution as my capstone internship project. I tried to get a full time job at Takshashila Institution. I worked there for a year, wrote for several newspapers and foreign media outlets. And then I transitioned to the office of Honorable Minister Piyush Goyal, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So, that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Okay. So, just to kick off the webinar, this is a very general question. What actually drew you to the course that we have here, MADLB, as well as international relations in general, basically?
Mm-hmm. So, to be honest, I come from a very different background, not from humanities. I did my high school in science field. I prepared for JEE mains and advanced. That didn't work out. So I applied to a university, applied to Christ University and specifically their BBA course because somebody told me that if you can't make it in science, then better go for commerce, right? And within commerce, I heard that BBA is the least problematic field because there isn't much to study. Honestly, there wasn't. So I did BBA at Christ University. I never was a good student, so I never bothered to study. So did my BBA, had some fun at Christ University, and then I did manage to get a decent job during my placements. But COVID happened, right? And we all had to come back home. So I couldn't join the office. The office was in Bangalore, so I had to come back to my home in Maharashtra. And since my district itself was in red zone, I couldn't move back to Bangalore, and I had to ultimately leave that offer. And I started spiraling, basically, right? I didn't have a job, and there wasn't any clarity about my masters either. So I started looking at random YouTube videos where all the UPSC interview kind of videos used to pop up in my YouTube channel. I clicked in one of them and saw the entire video, and then decided to go for this exam. 1 year down the line preparing for this exam and not managing to clear the prelim stage itself, I decided, yeah, I mean, if I have to do a master's, I won't go for MBA. Now I have to be serious. I'll go for a course where I have a better aptitude. And within the plethora of subjects within the UPSC CLC syllabus, I found international relations as a field which really interests me. And I had a better aptitude in that subject. I used to have fun reading it, and I used to have fun writing answers about it. And I started searching for universities and courses that offer this discipline. And Jindal was the first option because a lot of videos that I used to watch during my preparation, like Rajya Sabha TV and various other books that I used to refer to, I used to find some or other people who were affiliated with JSI. And then I studied a little bit about JSI and saw the faculties who actually taught these courses, and I was really amazed. So it wasn't a brainer. I only applied to JSI and nowhere else. So yeah, that's my journey to JSI.
Courses during your ADLB itself, what are the courses were actually attractive to you, and what all, how they helped you later on in life also?
Mm-hmm. So if I can rephrase this question, I remember having this conversation with you about what should we talk about in this webinar, right? And so one topic that struck the most with me was to how to make best use of out of this degree. Because when I came to JSI, I realized I never took my life seriously, not at Christ, not before, and this might be my last chance, right? and I need to take this degree at least seriously. So that was my only thought when I came to JSI. And then I tried to figure out what can I do to make the best out of this degree. And if there's one learning that I can give away to the audience and the students, it is that you need to able to sell yourself. And when I say that, I tell you, it doesn't matter which course or which field you come from, or what you do in your life. If you know how to sell your skill sets in the industry, in the market, no one can stop you. There were a lot of students, my own batchmates, who were way smarter than me, who were way more hardworking than me. I'm talking about JSI students, right? But I don't think they ever focused on developing the skill sets of selling themselves in the industry. So as soon as I came to JSI, my first approach was to try and understand the discipline better. First of all, because I don't come from this background, so every semester we had this mandatory internship program, right? So every semester I decided I'll intern and experience one industry. So first internship was risk analysis and geopolitical risk analysis industry. I joined a few organizations there. Second semester I understood how a research think tank or a national think tank works. And finally I decided, after exploring 3 4 industries, that this one particular industry is the best fit for me. So I decided public policy and research is an industry that really interests me, right? So it was easy for me to decide which companies to sit for during my placements, or what capstones to actually go for. So that's why I decided Takshashila. But again, take I I I I took my academics seriously, but that was not my ultimate focus. My ultimate focus was to build a little brand value around myself, because I realized that at least in international relations field, getting a job is easier if you have your own name in this field, right? I learned this from Professor Sriparna Pathak, Dr. Sriram Cholia. They have their own brand name right out there. So my focus was to actually get into that trajectory. So I mean, the basic stuff that you can do when you join the university is to open and download a LinkedIn app and create a profile. You know, post post and shit post, basically all the photos and videos that you go for. I mean, Jindal offers a lot of opportunities. I mean, they take you to embassies, these cultural centers, and a lot of stuff. Take photos, click photos, write a 200 words blog around it, and just post it on LinkedIn, and people will watch. Your employees will watch you, right? Watch you hustling, basically. And they'll know that you're serious about this field and your life. So that helps a lot. And trust me, a lot of opportunities that I got were from LinkedIn. So try to build a brand around yourself. Take your life seriously, and be specific with what you exactly want from this degree. The whole purpose of having a curated elective program is to develop a specialization, right? So just don't go randomly for professors that you like or don't like. I did that. I honestly did that. So I don't think I am very unbiased about that. But still, at least I knew that I want to go for China studies as a discipline, right? So decide whether you want to go. So this is very specific to only MADLB students. Decide whether you want to go for a area specialty or a thematic specialty, right? So if you see all the courses that JSI offers and also the other school offers, you can club it into these two categories. Either they are area specialists, or either those professors are thematic specialists. So decide if you want to be an area or a thematic specialist. I decided to be a China specialist, which comes under area specialist. But within my journey at Takshashila, I also had to become a thematic specialist, which is green energy. So I combined green energy and China and created a niche profile for myself. So you can mix and match, and go for trial and errors, and you can decide. It is basically going and choosing a Pokemon, right? You just need to understand which Pokemon works the best for you. So go and mix and play with the electives and decide for yourself, because this is the place where you actually build a brand around yourself, and also realize what you want to work on for the next at least like 5 to 10 years. So yeah, that's my takeaway from JSI.
Capstone experience in general then at Takshashila, as you said.
Sorry, I didn't get you. Sorry, Rehan.
How was your capstone internship experience as a general statement? Matlab, how was it at Takshashila, as you said before?
It was amazing. I mean, the entire experience at Takshashila was, I mean, they set the benchmark for a workplace so high that I don't think I'll ever be able to, come back and achieve that kind of work environment. The people at Takshashila were amazing. And also, I am very biased to Bangalore as a city. I love Bangalore. I spent like 3, 4 years in Bangalore, and I love the weather. I love the people. I love the cafes and clubs. But it's really cool. But again, coming back to Takshashila, the entire work environment, the people, the kind of discipline they had, and the rigor for academics. I mean, it really motivated me. Each and every person at Takshashila motivated me in that sense. so the so actually converting capstone into a job at Takshashila was a easy decision for me because I actually applied for a job and not for a capstone. So this is another trick. Capstone again, I think is a beautiful opportunity because it allows you to get out of the university ecosystem in your third semester itself. If you see that, you don't, I mean, you have to inform your recruiter that it's an capstone opportunity, but you can also tell them, since I'm working full time, you can hire me as a full time employee, right? Maybe not necessarily, maybe JSI and the entire JGU ecosystem will disagree with me. Of course, ethically it's not right to pitch them as you're coming as a full-time employee because you're still a student. But I did that. I told them what a capstone internship is, but I also told them that I don't want to come here as an intern. So I didn't convert this internship into a job. I joined Takshashila as a full-time employee. So when I joined them, I told them that, hey, there's essentially no difference between a full-time employee and a capstone intern. I'll be coming 24/7 to your office whenever you call me, and I'll be at your disposal. So I want to bag a full-time job because I don't see myself here for a short term, like 6 months thing. And they were really impressed by that. So they gave me a full-time offer. So maybe during your capstone, go for a organization that you really admire and ask them if they can give you a full-time opportunity in itself, because these organizations look for people who want to work for a long term. They don't want to invest in skills and invest time and skills in you and want you to leave like within 6 months. So, and you'll get a better offer also if you join as a full-time employee, better pay, better perks and stuff like that. So use capstone internship properly if you want to, and try to bag a full-time offer.
So just coming back to the coursework itself in general, at JSI to be specific. So is there any class or any, course that you regret not taking?
uh, Yeah, uh, I mean, yeah. So first of all, I don't exactly remember what electives were out there, which I didn't take. Uh, I did make a mistake of taking an extra elective in my second semester, only to realize that the workload, exams, assignments, they really get on your nerves. So I stuck to bare minimum electives from my third semester. So I necessarily do not miss or regret any uh, electives that I did not take, because it's very clear. So uh, first of all, I was very clear about the area of discipline that I wanted to specialize in, just China studies. I think my entire batch knew how crazy I think I was about the area. And the electives were very defined and limited when it came to China specialists, because we have like 2 or 3 professors who actually teach them, and all of the courses that were offered by these professors, I took them. So there's no regret as such. But yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, there's no regret, Rehat. I mean, I took all the electives that I could, and I never wanted to take extra electives because that gives you unnecessary burden. Maybe go and audit them if your school allows you, but don't take unnecessary burden, because ultimately it'll take toll on you later. Because when you're enrolled in research centers and various other initiatives that JGU offers, it doesn't make sense.
So that's how you chose electives also. So based on what kind of coursework there was and what kind of heaviness that you could handle academic wise.
No, if I had gone for that methodology or thinking, I wouldn't have taken electives from Liberty. Sorry, not Liberty, but what's the school? There's so many schools at JSA. There's some random elective on development economics. Yeah, taught by Professor Deepanshu Mohan. I think that was one of the most hectic course that I've ever done in my life. But I knew the value that brought, so I went for that. But again, I think having a clarity of purpose and in your area of discipline helps you to choose electives wisely. It doesn't matter which professor teaches you, because Professor Deepanshu Mohan and Professor Rohit Jyotish, they were extremely thorough and strict about their courses, right? And you had to put like 200% in your electives when you were studying with them, right? So I don't think that was necessarily my methodology when choosing the electives, to go for courses where I can actually bag great grades, or it will be easier on me. But it should be aligned with what I want to achieve at the end of this degree. That was my goal. But yeah, that's it. There were so many electives that I was interested in, like films and IR. It was so interesting. I mean, they used to screen one film every week, and we had to give review and stuff like that. I was so interested, but I knew that I couldn't take this, because I knew it, because I already watched like 5 films every weekend on IR on Netflix, so it doesn't add much value to my resume, right? How am I gonna justify to my recruiter if he or she chooses to read my transcript for some reason? How am I gonna justify that? I spent like these number of hours in watching films and understanding what those. I'm not demeaning any course. Let's get that straight. But I want you to decide wisely about your electives, because it matters a lot in building your body of knowledge, right? So yeah, decide wisely, guys.
So being in Jindal, of course, academically, it's a very, hard driven courses, of course, in JSI and in other schools also. But were you part of any other extracurricular activities here?
I think, yeah, I spent more time in extracurricular activities than spending my time in basic core courses or stuff like that. But yeah, I spent a significant amount of time in research centers, specifically the Northeast Asian Research Center, because again, China, Northeast Asia, and Professor Pathak, so no brainer, right? So I think that helps you a lot if you're serious about being an academician, or a person who wants to work in a think tank or a public policy space, because again, these research centers actually nudge you to write better, read more, and think deeply, right? So that's why I spent a lot of time with these research centers. But yeah, apart from that, I don't think I was ever a part of any sports league committee or stuff like that, because whatever limited time I had, I wanted to spend it with my friends and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think mostly I was involved only with research centers and nowhere else, not even debating society, nowhere else. Because I used to strategize and spend my time very wisely, because, yeah, I mean, I I don't want to waste my energy where I don't get like good returns. So that's what my approach is when it comes to professional life and even personal life. So that's why I limited myself to a very few number of initiatives in Jindal, and I think that worked out well for me. Maybe it will not work out well for everyone, but that worked out for me. So
I think you took the right way. So depending where it's gotten you right now. So
yeah,
how important was networking and mentoring in your growth itself?
bang on, you hit it where it, yeah, you actually captured the essence of my journey, and you actually got the nerve, right? In this field, networking is everything. It lands you in your first job, it lands you in a better job, it gives you contacts for publications, it gives you everything. uh, the IR as a discipline works and thrives on good networks. So, and even at Takshashila, our logo was connecting good ideas to good people, right? In public policy, I think it captures the essence of public policy and IR in a sentence, in a phrase, right? So networking is a very important thing. I don't think I ever missed a embassy visit or a field visit ever that was offered by CNES and other centers, because my goal was to actually go get that bloody visiting card from the person and hit them and cold email them constantly until I get my job done, until I get a job, or I'll get anything that I wanted to from that person, right? So that's the essence. I understand a lot of people are shy and introverted and don't want to actually, go beyond their comfortable zone and, comfort zone, and reach out to people because they think it's below them. And I understand, I get that. Even I was the same person. But if you have decided that this is the field that you, if you're doing a master's in this field, then that means you have decided that this is a field that you want to work for, like at least for like coming 5 years, right? I want to generalize it, at least for coming 5 years. Then go and network with those people. Yeah, I mean, they have spent a significant amount of time in this field. They've created the value around themselves. Why not utilize it for your benefit? So I think networking is the ultimate skill, and that is required in this field. Uh, be- Honestly, in any field, even in MBA, marketing, sales, and stuff like that, being a leader and stuff like that, networking is the most important skill. And creating a brand value while you're networking helps a lot. So yeah, I'd always put them as my first priority in the skill set list. Creating a brand value around yourself and networking with good people. Um, yeah, but it's very important in a gist.
All right. So I think networking, I think the previous webinars also have taken, all of them have been talking about networking and, getting in touch with the right people, of course. So I think that helps you get ahead in life a lot. I think connections are a big factor in how you spend your life as well.
Right.
So just, excuse me. So just, moving forward, is there any advice that you would give to the current students at JSI, or, in, the JGU students itself, how the job market is working at this point? Any advice?
uh, there's no advice as such, right? But to each their own. I mean, there are a lot of factors in one's life which actually compels them to take a step or not to take that particular step. So there's no one generic advice, but if you want to have a job because honestly not a lot of students, even a lot of my batchmates, wanted a job after this degree, right? They had a very stable future where they were clear that what they want to do, maybe not necessarily bag a job, maybe join their dad's business and stuff like that. So a generic advice won't work for everyone, but if only for those who want to actually bag a job and don't want to necessarily go back to family business. Like I never wanted to go back to my family business, right? So I wanted to bag a job in this field. So one advice is, as much as I love the university, get out of that ecosystem as soon as you can, and capstone is a way to go about it. I think 3 semester is more than enough to spend at JGU, uh, eat at chai tapri, and go to YB and have like good momos. But yeah, 3 semester is more than enough of that ecosystem. Get out of the ecosystem through your capstone internship, and bag that job. Experience each industry in all these 3 semesters during your internships, and cut down and decide which industry is the best for you. And in your capstone, decide which organization within that industry is the best for you, and try to apply for capstone internships. And simultaneously build a value around yourself through various platforms. LinkedIn is one, writing your own blogs is another, and if you're again narrowing it down to public policy, government, think tanks, where a lot of research and writing comes in, and where I come from, if you want to get into that space, start writing, start publishing. If nobody, I get it a lot from a lot of juniors who tell me that the publishers don't accept our pieces. That's fine. Start with, small medium, small platforms. I started from small platforms. Nobody, Deccan Herald or the Hindu, the Indian Express is not gonna take your piece, right? If that's your first or second piece. So write for small platforms, create your own blog. It takes only 599 rupees on GoDaddy or any other website to create your own domain, right? Create your own blog. Ambassador Mohan Kumar has his own blog. He necessarily doesn't write for these newspapers, and he writes excellent blogs, excellent insights in his blogs, right? So what is stopping you? Write your own blog, publish it, uh, soon people will read, notice, connect the dots in the geopolitical space. The more you read, the more you write, the more you're able to connect the dots and analyze it and bring out some fresh perspectives out there in the public domain, and have a lot of fun, because I think that's the most important thing. काम वाम तो आते जाते रहेगा, but if you don't have fun, if you miss out on people that were with you during your struggle phase and stuff like that, I don't think it's worth it. So have a lot of fun, but also be a little bit serious about your life and your direction. I'm not asking you to spend a lot of energy, but whatever energy you're spending, at least spend it strategically, right? So that's my takeaway, and my advice to all the people that actually want to take that advice.
So is just in line of those, statements that you said, is there anything, just a very light-hearted question, is there anything that you would have done differently during your course here?
Nothing. That's that. So you're not the first person who asked me that question, and I asked that question to myself a lot, right? I mean, there are a lot of things that I would have said about my time at Christ University, my time at when I was preparing for JEE's mains and advance, right? But not a single thing that I would change when I was at JSI. I think every semester, every step that I took while I was at JSI was turned out right for me in future. So I mean, first semester building my core foundations, experiencing industries during every semester breaks. Second semester and third semester building core body of knowledge in China studies and networking, and creating a small brand value out of it, and taking capstone internship as a jump board to get into a organization that I really admire, Takshashila institution. I think every step went well. And yeah, I think one thing that during this entire process, I lost a lot of friends at JSI. But again, I'm still in touch with them, touch with those people that really matter to me. So I mean, if they are really your good friends, they'll stay in touch with you. It doesn't matter, I mean, what you lose. But I think it's a trade-off that you have to give. You have to miss a lot of parties, events, and stuff like that when you're working for your career. And this advice might not sit well with a lot of people, because they'll think that bhai ye life ko bahut seriously le raha hai. And I'm not giving that advice to you all, right? To each their own. I was the same person at Christ University. I knew that didn't work out well for me, so I had to shift gears and change myself. But yeah, regrets regrets were only that कि बहुत सारे लोग छूट गए इस प्रोसेस में. But it's not a very big regret when I look back and I see ki what I have achieved in these years. So yeah, Rehat, that's it. It wasn't a light-hearted question. It's a very deep question.
Okay. And the next one might be pretty light. I think it's very without boundaries also. So I'll just be wrapping up the whole webinar itself.
Mhm.
So do you have any final thoughts and or final shout outs to anybody there that have helped you become the person that you are right now? Or any final thoughts on the topic itself?
First of all, my classmate and currently my girlfriend Nandini Bhatnagar. I think I think I kept my mental state. I was mentally sane because of her during my entire tenure at Jindal. I had a lot of breakdowns, honestly, and she was there with me. She's still there with me. She's doing amazing at her own job. So, firstly, it's Nandini. Secondly, it's Professor Pathak, Sripanna Pathak. I came to this university because of her. I used to read her work, and I saw her affiliation with Jindal. I stuck with her. I joined all of her electives that she offered. I joined her research center, worked as a center coordinator in research center. So I ensured that I never missed a single opportunity to not be away from her. She literally is my godmother, and she inspires me every day, right, with her discipline and with her rigor towards the industry and the ecosystem itself. So Nandini Bhatnagar, a lot of my friends, I don't want to name them and I can't, right, but they themselves, they were there when I wanted them. So a lot of them, but my parents and stuff like that. But again, it's not an IFA award, I understand. But these things matter a lot, right? I mean, you can only go far but when you have these kinds of breakdown, you need that kind of support system around you. And when you have built a strong support system around you, it provides a strong foundational base, and then you can have a bigger jump. So build a good network of good people around you, and you'll be able to achieve like good things. So yeah, that's it, Rahel.
Thank you so much, Rakshit, for doing this. I'll be leaving you now. We conclude the webinar with this. And thank you so much for connecting with us. I hope people do reach out to you and, you mentor them as gracefully as you have become the person that you are now. So thank you
Thank
so much for doing this and have a very, very good day.
you too, Rahat. Thank you so much for having me here. It's such a pleasure, and yeah, I'll come whenever you want to invite me. So that's not a problem. So, but yeah,
That's a big thing. I will definitely call you back for this,
yeah,
another phase of this webinar itself.
and maybe we want some young professionals from Jindal School of International Affairs. So if there's any requirement from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, I'll reach out to you guys. So yeah, looking ahead to getting more people from JSI within the ecosystem. So
Thank you
yeah,
so much, Rakshit. Bye-bye.
bye bye, bye bye.
Bye.